coming up, and he's got the metal and the nerves of steel to just shrug this tournament off.
All right, let's hope so. And we're underway with a Berlin defense with
Bishop a4. We had seen
castles
this
in a
before.
run and knight takes d4, knight takes d4.
We had seen this before.
Yes.
I was particularly disappointed with Wesley So's approach and our second game today, when he just agreed to draw with maybe 7 moves against Livon Aronian.
And that was the repetition.
Exactly, the repetition. Will we see a change of tack
Well,
against
he
Karjakin?
had the chance to go for this rookie 1 Berlin, right? Which I
Which
think
is dead.
even more dead than this.
Right.
This is not dead at all. My running
No,
Leon
no,
is
no,
pretty dead.
He's keeping
Some
game.
play.
Yeah.
So at least this approach is more interesting. Sometimes you look at these players and you're like, wow, this game, and then you realize you're playing with the white pieces against Sergey Karjakin, and it's like running into a wall trying to break something, right? And it's so difficult to break Karjakin's defenses.
Right.
The Berlin, the Ninzu Indian, they're just so solid. His Queen's Gambit has been indestructible in the Blitz.
Right. Here, the one thing that I am attracted to is that this pin of the bishop of the knight, pardon me, by the bishop is really rather annoying for the second player. And on a good day, you do have ideas like King H1 and F4 to try to take advantage of this pin.
Although in this position, it is well known that even if you take on F6, you just take with the G pawn.
Right.
Almost always. Even immediately, if I take on F6, I think black can play anything, right? But I think you can play A5, for example. And if you take on F6, I'll just take with the G pawn.
Right.
And usually that's okay.
You probably have to do that, in fact, because the D5 pawn would be hanging. But the point that you're making is absolutely clear. The double G pawns aren't that big a liability, not a bad position. So here we have seen captures on D4. I'm expecting, well, if I recapture with the knight takes D4, probably provoking G5, am I not in that case?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot different if I take on F6 with the knight.
Yes. So knight takes E4, G5, knight F6, queen F6, bishop G3. I have used a pawn weakness.
Well, we're going to see it. G5 is pretty much forced. I don't
Right.
see knight G5 working, so bishop G3 is also forced.
No, I'm going to take on F6. I want to keep queens on the board. I'm afraid that after bishop G3,
Then
knight takes, and the fact that I've induced G5,
Just
I'll never be able to exploit that weakness on the king side. But knight F6, queen F6, bishop G3. He's played bishop G3.
Yeah, the problem with that variation, Yasser, I thought that after bishop G3, I just go bishop E6 and
Yeah, and queen E2. And
just play chess. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, but the problem I'm having here is after the queen trade,
And even bishop C7.
yeah, and then there will be trades.
But okay, it's
I
not
can't
that
take
easy.
advantage of
It's
the
not
fact
that easy
that
for black to develop the.
I've
Hang on a
forced
second.
G5.
But
If you trade queens, where are you going to develop your C8 bishop?
other G4.
To G4.
To G4.
Yeah.
But you have to defend against the.
And then I'll play rook E8.
But this was
No, I
the
meant you have to
difference.
just take time out to defend the E5 pawn, and in
Yeah.
that time I can go F3.
You can't ever go F3, my bishop's on B6.
Ah, yes, of course.
Okay, but this was the point that
It
I
was
was
your
trying to
bishop
make.
C7,
That
I
I
guess.
thought it was in black's favor to trade off queens because white, whether it is something or not, he has induced the pawn shield to move forward, G7, G5, and the only way I'm really going to take advantage of that weakness is to keep the queens on the board. And now that the queen is posted up on H5, okay, well, we're gonna try to loosen up the pawn shield a little bit more with the move H2, H4. We'll see if Wesley can make anything out of this. It's still going to be a difficult chore, of
Yes.
course. And I'm just going to say a very obvious idea is to try and make a rook lift, rook D1, rook D3. But bishop E6 came very quickly.
And now we can see the idea.
H4.
H4.
We do agree that this is almost nothing, right?
We do agree. Indeed.
Yes.
Taking on G5.
I can even
Probably
take.
pawns.
I can take with the queen. I could have.
I'm saying.
Sorry, you're right. My bad.
Don't give me that phone. Suddenly warmed up.
Good morning, Sam. Yasser has seen an extra pawn.
Stop my beating heart.
That was very difficult for White to unravel.
This is
I mean, you have bishop h4. That's one thing I do see. You have to defend against that.
Oh, Wesley with a dirty look at that. That is a slide trick.
Yeah.
Ah, bishop h4, you're channeling.
It's a slight trick that I'm not even sure works. Because at some point now you always have to be worried about bishop takes f2 checks.
Right.
Right.
Okay, the queen e7 does show respect for the threat of bishop h4 as he is now black has prepared the defense f7 and 6.
I'm not really liking White's position too much. I'm a bit worried about this bishop on g3. It doesn't make a pleasing impression.
You're almost thinking that you want to play rook at e1, king f1, f3.
I'm almost thinking that I have to just go rook takes rook.
Hack it all off.
Yeah, here we see it. Rook takes rook and then rook d1 and just kind of go, okay, fine.
Okay, let's
sign the score sheets.
The halving of
the halving of the
your
point,
grandmastership.
Yeah. Let's have a cup of tea.
We have the first result of the round. Anand has drawn against Levon Aronian.
Guys,
Okay.
I think that this guy is going to head for a draw. Let's
So
go
let's
to
head
the
to